Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to This Is a Work. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions. And before I turn this over to your host, David Two Dogs Hayes, I want to say from the entire Long Walk family, myself, Chris Barnes, Two Dogs, Stan Lee, Gina Belmont, and Shelby Ray, we all hope that everyone out there is staying safe and healthy. And two, this is our first episode entirely remote in respect of the social distancing protocols, so you may hear a difference in audio quality than you're used to. So now that that is out of the way, I'm going to turn it over to your host, David Two Dogs Hayes.
Thank you very much, David Hensley, and welcome to Rock Hill, South Carolina's only premier wrestling pay-per-view podcast. This is a work. Now, usually, as David Hensley said, I would like to introduce my partner right beside me, Chris, the Fashion Plate Barnes. However, he is not right beside me. We are all... What?
Not my name.
Well, let me introduce our guest from the Pudcast with Jason and Mike. Mike, the Wild Child Payne. How are you, brother?
Hey, man, good. Hey, thanks for having me on here, guys. This is going to be a blast.
Glad to have you. Oh, man.
Well, the only thing I would say is I wish we were on like video instead of just audio only, because I would love to have live via satellite underneath my picture, because I figure that's when you know you've kind of made it. Whenever you've got live via satellite under your name, under your picture.
Oh, absolutely.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Famous people do that.
and that's not us, so.
Hey, not yet.
Well, Mike, I want you to put yourself over for a minute. Obviously, a podcast brother, a wrestling brother. You founded the Millennium Wrestling Federation back in 2000 or 1999, actually.
You gonna put that on me?
Well, it's got to land on somebody, pal.
Said put yourself over. You're certainly not doing it. No.
Well, but you are a font of wrestling knowledge, a historian, if you will. Been in the game for a long time. Also a pillar of Lincolnton.
You're going to put that one on me too, huh?
Well, yeah. Oh, you got to claim Lincolnton. I can't get you to leave it.
Well, there's a fine line between famous and infamous, so.
That's true. So tell me about GameSwap. This is your store, buying, selling, trading video games, video consoles, and what else? You've got all kinds of pop culture things going on in there. Tell me a little bit about it.
Mostly video games, consoles, stuff like that. Old school toys, 80s, stuff like that, pop culture. Yeah, I mean, right now, because of the state order, for the past 2 weeks, we've been actually closed. So, readjusting to that, being at home, it's been quite a blast. I've rearranged the house quite a few times, and man, I'm working on a watchtower now in the backyard to keep an eye on the group from on the hill, because they're kind of shady.
Well, leave enough space so that when things go south, you can dig the moat.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, guys, we have got a lot to do. WrestleMania, man. Mikey, before we get into the nuts and bolts of it, just what'd you think overall?
Wow. Oh, I mean, just like with the past, I guess, 3 weeks to a month now, with the state of wrestling as it is now, it's strange. It's really strange not seeing that live audience, because, I mean, they're 50% of the show, the entertainment.
Without question.
That's so true.
And matches are certainly different now. And you got to give it up for the guys, for going out there and working, because, you've done it. A lot of it, your matches are based upon those fans, and you get a lot of adrenaline from those fans.
That's exactly what I thought that some of the matches were actually, it helped not having a crowd there. And then a few of the other ones, it really hurt them and really caused them to go into the tank. We're going to get into it.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started. Well, we'll start with night one on the kickoff show, Cesaro versus Drew Gulak.
Now, Drew Gulak, Jason Finger, my hetero life partner from the podcast, refuses to acknowledge that Drew Gulak is an actual person.
What?
Why?
I have no idea. It just refuses.
He's great.
I know, he's fantastic.
It's a travesty that he hasn't had a push.
He does not know who Drew Gulak is and refuses to acknowledge that he's an actual person.
So what did he think was happening during this match? Just through his eyes, was he watching one of those matches they like to have in Japan where it's a guy wrestling an invisible man?
It could be.
It's like the narrator's flashbacks in Fight Club.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or if we want to even go to a darker time, you guys remember when Vince McMahon wrestled God?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Oh, we've got something to show Dave at some point.
Oh, yeah. Remind me to bring up YouTube.
He had a mini feud with God.
That was the...
well, I mean, who amongst us doesn't?
He cut a promo on God.
I would say that would be the peak of Vince's insanity.
Oh, no, not by a long shot.
No.
What? No. It's definitely a symptom.
I like this match. It was a great way to start.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is also one of the matches that I don't think fans really cared about, but the absence of a crowd, I think, may have actually helped it a little bit. Just because you can hear those sick thuds on the ring, you can hear them talking smack back and forth. I think that would kind of enhanced it. I gave this match a 3.
Yeah, definitely.
It just proved that these guys are the type of guys who, crowd or not, could go out there and wrestle a great match.
Mm-hmm.
And but going back to the smack talk, I think some people aren't as good as others because now that there's not a crowd and you hear them shouting at stuff at ringside, it's like, oh, we need crowd to cover that.
Yeah. And we're coming up on that here in about 2 matches. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and move into the. What's that?
Maybe even in the next match.
Oh yeah, well let's move into it. Bliss Cross Applesauce.
Yes.
Versus the Kabuki Warriors. I started with Mikey on the last one. Barnes, what do you think about this match?
It was fun. I wish there had been a crowd for this one because a crowd would have only helped this one even more.
Mm-hmm.
But they were fun, and Asuka is a delight because she has just gone nuts.
Now, Mike, you've had a problem with Asuka in the past, am I right?
No.
Oh no, it's Finger that has a problem with Asuka.
Yeah. He doesn't get Asuka.
Okay.
Yeah. Finger just doesn't see what. Until recently, he just didn't get Asuka. Didn't think she was kind of like that it wrestler.
Right.
Which I think is insane because she is everything. She is maniacal. I mean, just everything she's doing now. She is. Kairi Sane is on that same level as well. Mm-hmm. Just that insane. Just oh my gosh! I'm not even sure if they're actually saying anything. That's the thing with those two, especially Asuka. I don't know that she's actually forming sentences.
I think they've taken advantage of that language barrier and are just using it to do whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a whole thing with you are not important. My other car is a fish. They're just saying anything. Yeah. It's
if you've ever seen her little podcast or blog on YouTube.
Oh, her channel, yeah.
Yeah, her channel. She's very well spoken. This is totally like a 180 from what she actually is. I mean, she's just going over the cliff with this stuff.
Oh, well, what'd you think of the tag match?
The tag match was great, I thought. Definitely with Bliss and Cross.
Oh yeah, they've got a genuine friendship in the ring, and it shows.
Yeah. They definitely. There's some great chemistry there. Not so much with the I'll go back to Charlotte and Becky tag against the Kabuki Warriors. That was not good at all, but this was great.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I had no problems with this match whatsoever. It was a fun match.
Yeah.
Again, could have used some crowd reaction. They didn't. A couple of times I saw Asuka react to the crowd that wasn't there.
Yeah.
And,
Which I think is fine. I enjoyed that. Some people complained about it when we were watching, but I dug it. I really did.
I've done it myself. I'm sorry to say it's when and Mike knows this as well. When we've when we were training, we would have matches, and I would turn around to an empty hall and try to get some heat off of.
The argument could be made as well as they're not actually playing to an empty audience as they are playing to the cameras.
Exactly, yeah.
Because the camera placement all around, and I'm not sure that they know which is their red light camera that they're supposed to be on.
Right.
So they're just reacting to cameras that they see.
Exactly.
Playing to cameras.
I absolutely love the match. I also gave this one a 3.
What did you think about the title change?
I am very happy with the title change. I feel like I feel sorry for Bliss Cross. I don't think anybody wants to win the title in an empty arena.
No.
It feels empty, for lack of a better term.
My argument with this whole thing was that they were pushing the fact that the Kabuki Warriors had these titles for so long. But if you've kept up with everything, they've probably had a total of 2 or 3 matches for those tag titles combined, because most of what they're doing is single shots with Asuka.
No, absolutely. I thought I loved the match. I thought it was fantastic.
Yep.
I can't wait to. And just as a side note, the transformation of Nikki Cross, I was a little worried about, but she is nothing short of being more adorable than a button on a teddy bear's fucking nose. It's I absolutely loved it. Moving on to the Elias versus King Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Mikey, what are your thoughts on this match?
I'm making popcorn at this point. Making a lot of popcorn.
Yeah. I did not hate this match as much as I expected to.
If that's the height of compliments we're going to, buckle up.
Backhand.
Look, hey, I love Elias, and I can't stand Corbin.
Right.
That's and not
even Elias now is you can only take him in just so much. I mean, his matches aren't, I want to say, even really mediocre.
They are. He's much better as a heel than he is as the wandering traveling face. It's not working. Barnes, what do you think?
Well, I agree with that, because they do try it every so often, and then they just revert it back because they realize he's better that way.
Right.
But it wouldn't have mattered, because against Corbin, he's an instant face in my book. It was what it was. I mean, like Doggz said, I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a lot of interest in it.
Right on. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of interest in it either. Elias goes over on Corbin. No real meat on this bone. It just kind of was, I thought. It was fine.
Unnecessary.
And they just threw it together. And the week before, when you've got Corbin versus Elias, and they did the camera angle of Elias falling off of the platform in the performance
Totally
center.
Not a cut.
And you see him falling. The next thing is he's on the ground, and It's tough, man. They got to stop with that.
Hey, I thought WWE was a movie company. Why are we not getting?
We're getting to that match.
Why are we not getting better stuff? I mean, we're getting
to
get
both
some
of those
good
matches.
stuff. Right? Yeah. We're going to get to those, but in between stuff. What's going on?
I figure if we're going to do this, if we're going to be sports entertainment and we're going to be television, movies, that type of medium, well, let's just do it and let's just go all the way in.
Go full lucha.
I mean, you look back at the Attitude Era, and some of their cutaway stuff was really, really good. Like Austin getting hit with a car, et cetera, et cetera. Right. They even made the NWO semi truck hitting Rock look, somewhat, realistic.
Yeah. And I'll elaborate more on that during the Boneyard match because that's kind of my issues with it, kind of.
So I gave this whole match 2.5. That's about as nice as I could possibly be.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, so Elias goes over on King Corbin. If we're going to be King Corbin, can we not have a couple of crown matches? Well, I mean, or something.
Yeah,
let's have a match for the crown.
Yeah, like Harley Race put it on the line, yeah.
Yeah.
Or that or the,
That's how we got King Haku.
There you go. Or the Kiss My Foot. Bow.
Yeah. The bout like JYD.
Yeah.
He had to bow and curtsy to him.
Yeah.
Let's do something like that. Let's
run with it.
If you're going to run with Corbin, I mean, you got to give him something other than dog food and throw a dart against the wall.
Why were they so proud of that? They loved running those. I think it has to be Vince. They loved running those clips over and over.
Yeah. And so, Jesus Christ. Let's move into this is Mike Payne's favorite. The champion, the man herself, Becky Lynch, versus Shayna Baszler. Chris, let's start with you. What do you think about this match? Mike Payne is already shaking his head.
I can see that. I don't think it lived up to the hype. I wanted it to be better.
The hell you say?
I did. I was okay with the match, honestly, up until after the end, and that kind of ruined something for me. But it was all right, I think. But what did it end for me was, like I said, after the end when Becky pulls off the win and Shayna slinks sadly to the back, and that really ruined it for me because they built this up. They play over and over her biting open the back of Becky's neck. Yeah. She's a killer. She's angry. Why did she not go straight after Becky again after the end? She lost. She had nothing to lose at that point. Attack her.
That was my biggest thing.
They deflated her. They just neutered her character.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they kind of ruined her for the fact that Shayna, being the big heel that she is, for her just to slink over in the corner and rest her bones for a minute.
She was sad.
And not go after her, hit her with a chair, the Pearl Harbor job, something like that. I think you wasted your. I think you blew your wad right there.
It should have been immediate shock and then anger. It's just like.
No, it was over when she became a neck biter.
Yeah.
It was cheesy.
It was done. It was done at that point. Yeah. There was no coming back from that. No. You put her in that cheese spot, and nobody cared.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous angle to begin with.
Yeah, and they tried to play it too serious, I think, because once you've gone to that point, what are you doing trying to play this serious? She bit Becky on the back of the neck.
Yeah. And then Becky comes, steals an ambulance, comes back. She's all right.
Because they were going to drive her to the damn hospital that she was going to.
It's like stealing your Uber and then bringing it back.
You're just playing. All you're doing is playing the Becky now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think the bloom is definitely off the rose for the man character. I think we're pushing now with the semi truck. I don't even get the point of that. I mean, I guess we're trying to be Steve Austin, and it's just not happening.
Yeah.
I don't think you can drive in those heels, honestly. Not a truck.
Yeah.
Right. Not much else to say about this. Thankfully, this match did not go as long as I thought it was going to, which made for not the worst match. I did not hate this match. I hated the ending was horseshit to me. For us to go all that way and not have her take the title.
Yeah.
She was running roughshod over she was being Goldberg.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
And for her not to run roughshod over Becky Lynch, because then we could have a chase.
She should have ended it in 2 minutes.
This was Kevin Nash with the cattle prod, yeah.
Especially after her domination in the Elimination Chamber.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, look, 3 other wrestlers knelt down at the Shayna Baszler altar to make this match happen.
Mm-hmm.
For her to take a loss and slink down in the corner and go, "Oh, I'm sad." It's not. It was.
It's not NXT Baszler.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that many times on our podcast of going up to the main roster and how it just strips you of half of your, I want to say heat, pop.
Your soul.
Essentially your soul, but, all your momentum that you had in NXT stripped half away from the main roster.
I gave this match 2 because I felt generous. I did, but I didn't hate it.
That's fair. I just
thought the end was bullshit.
Yeah, I think honestly this match would have felt better overall if a crowd had been there. It still wouldn't have saved after the end with Shayna, but it still would have felt better with a crowd, I think.
Yeah.
Right on. Let's get into something fun. Let's talk about Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. Mike, what do you think?
Let's talk about Sami Zayn's hair, man. It's out of
It's
control.
it's turning into a burning bush, isn't it?
Yeah,
He's starting to resemble that one other pre-show guy that I can't remember the name of.
Sam Roberts.
Yeah, Sam.
Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts. Yeah. No, it's Sami Zayn. And it's Daniel Bryan. Sami just talks for days. He never gets tired of
right.
it. And the ring work was just incredible.
And and the thing about it is, it was short, and it was short enough. And this is another match where I think not having the audience helped a little bit because, again, you can hear him talking smack. You can hear those sick thuds. Sami is selling like he's on commission.
Yeah.
So is Daniel Bryan. These two have rode up and down the roads together on the indie circuit, so it's like gold to them. It's just old hack.
Yeah.
And then plus you've got Gulak and Cesaro and Shinsuke on the outside also running shenanigans.
Yeah.
Right. There was one moment where Gulak clotheslined Cesaro and Nakamura over the barricade.
This I liked.
They were back there for the next 20 minutes.
Well, they had to stall for time because Shinsuke had to run around to the other opposite barricade.
Yeah.
He had to go around the other, so they could both pop over each barricade and surprise Gulak. That was one of my favorite parts because I realized he took the time to go all the way around.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I thought it was fun. Barnes, what'd you think?
I had a great time with that. It was a great match.
Yeah, and Sami keeping the title, man. It's just the right call.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that they're starting to realize that Sami can go and Sami can do his thing, and you can put him on the mic and you can make him a manager or you can put him in the ring. I think the IC title is well deserved by him.
Let's get him a better look.
Honestly, if he gained 20 pounds, I think he could go for a world title shot.
That'd be a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to get some body weight. But
Well, I mean, look at Daniel Bryan. He made it. He went on that run. I just
yeah, but do you think that was luck?
right place,
Do you
right
think
time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think if you just put the wheels under Sammy, it might work and it might not. It just depends on where the crowd is at that particular time, and that's why I say, let's put a little bit of weight on him too, and see if he can. Let's beef up a little.
I think the hardcore fans would be behind it, but the casual fans, I just don't think they'd be interested.
I think this is a good start to getting him that kind of support.
Now that I do agree with.
But it would take more time because I think Brian, the circumstances that helped Brian really get over were kind of special.
Yeah, absolutely. This match went 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Sami Zayn retains his title
through the power of friendship.
I gave this match a solid 3 Meltzers, and it probably deserved more. I probably could have even the 4 Meltzers on this because it was just really, really fun.
Can I ask you guys a question? What is Vince's? I'm guessing this
Ask away.
Comes from Vince or WWE as a whole. What is their obsession? Almost a fetish with the foreign country groups.
I don't know. It just seems like the easiest way to get some just get the crowd against them, I guess.
Right.
I think that's that old man mentality of wrestling angles. It's like, let's put the Russians together with the French. Why not?
Because communism.
Yeah, communism. Yeah.
Anybody remember the League of Nations?
Yes. Sort of. Yeah.
Ooh.
First of all, it's a historical reference that'll fly over most people's heads anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it only happened just about maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't 5 years, was it? I think it was more like 4.
It always reminds me of the ad Futurama did, where they had a heel wrestler who was foreign, and he was like, "I'm not from here. Look at my crazy passport."
Yeah.
It was that kind of thing. It was like, yeah, no, they still do that.
Yeah, I believe it was like 2016 because it was the time when Alberto Del Rio was starting to yell at people, "Show me your papers."
Oh, right.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that feels like this one, but it feels like hopefully this one will work.
I hope
as far as the group.
Well, see, it's more of a social justice warrior thing that they got going on, which it's a hot topic right now. It's so I'm for it.
You can trust wrestling to handle it perfectly.
Yeah.
So let's move on to this weird-ass triple threat ladder match.
I'm guessing this had to do with, just social distancing.
It did.
Have 6 men in a ring at the same time and call yourself
responsible.
Yeah. Well, they had the Miz was sick, and so he quarantined himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think after that they decided let's just do 1 man apiece, and and that'll make us look. I don't know. I don't even claim to know what the hell they're thinking.
Right.
If you got 1 out for this triple threat match, this match should have been the match of the night in the real WrestleMania world with a crowd. This is the one that everybody should have been talking about. We don't have a crowd, and we're 1 man down. I say let's put the Usos versus the New Day, because that's always gold. And just say the winner of this match is going to be number 1 contender for
tag title shot. Yeah,
right.
Sure.
No.
They're going to tear it up
because they're taking hard.
It's not a bad match. There was a lot of good stuff that happened.
they're taking a lot of hard
most
bumps
definitely they are.
for an empty room. That's.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if that's the best thing.
And that's another thing. I give them all the props in the world because I know I would not want to take any hard bumps if nobody's there. It's I barely wanted to do it when there were people there.
and that goes back to that adrenaline thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you have that adrenaline during a match like that, you're not going to feel it as much as you do just kind of going bareback out there.
Right. And how do you feel like how do you get that adrenaline rush without a crowd? I mean,
right.
it's a testament to how good these guys really are. I bitch and complain about the WWE and the wrestlers and the stories and whatnot, but these guys are the best in the world, and they're the best in the world for a reason, because of what we saw. They wrestled like there was a crowd there, and it's just a testament to how good these guys really are.
Sure,
it's a good point.
Amazing
You're right,
stuff that happened.
It's a good point because I was thinking about that.
No, go ahead.
What you were saying about because the crowd makes a huge difference there. Because I know in the ring, all I'd be thinking is how quiet it is, and here comes a ladder.
Oh yeah,
you have too much time to think about who you're about to hit,
Yeah.
what you're about to hit, and it's just like, oh no.
Yeah. Just some amazing spots that came out of this match. It went roughly a little under 20 minutes. Again, I went 3.5 on this match. I could have gone higher, but the lack of crowd took this out for me. I don't know how you got, Mike. How did you feel about it?
I think the ladders were distraction enough to okay, hey, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen now? Where your concentration is on that spot or the upcoming spot or potential spot, but. Yeah, I mean, without the oohs and the ahs and the,
Yeah, because those are some impressive ladder spots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really impressive, but yeah, more. I just because those are some really impressive spots they did, but they would have been so much better with a crowd going insane over them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on now, John Morrison defeated Jimmy Uso and Kofi, so they're going to retain, which it didn't matter because it wasn't a real tag match to begin with. So
asterisk.
Again, that just goes back to the issues. Moving into another fun match. We've got Kevin Owens versus the Monday Night Messiah, Seth freaking Rollins.
This is a match.
What say you on this match?
Oh, I'm glad you started with me. This is a match that benefited from it being quiet because this match had so many sticking thuds. This is they so many this is the one where it really reverberated around the arena or wherever the performance center, I should say. And they also were good at smack talking, and it was a great match to hear quiet of all things.
No, absolutely, Mr. Wildchild. What do you think?
I would have really have loved to have seen Seth Rollins, the original idea for the entrance he would have had for this. I've got to think it would have been on that Taker, Shawn Michaels level of grandiose to where, he's either coming down from the ceiling or, there's a beacon of light showing on him or entire choir, on him on that.
Mike did just remind me. I am glad that I don't have epilepsy because they went all out with the laser since they couldn't have pyro this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God, so many lasers! We were watching Crown Jewel again. It was Kevin Owens. Jesus, he's so. Can we not put a belt on him? He's so much fun.
Don't.
I just love this guy to death.
Don't put a belt on him. Please
Why?
don't come down. Because. No.
Why do you say that?
No, it's just a curse.
Tell me.
The belt's a curse.
Speaking of curses,
keep it away from the man. Keep it away.
Speaking of curses, you notice we did not have the cursed Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this time.
What are you talking about? I love the Andre Battle Royal.
I love it too, but it also, the winner of that also goes to Jobberville.
I mean,
have you noticed that?
Oh, it's a curse, but it's still fun.
They should have done it. I think everyone should have been wearing a mask, and they also should have been putting on hand sanitizer before getting in the ring, just one after the other.
No. You would have had more slides under the ring than you could have possibly counted.
Titus O'Neil would have been so jealous.
I'm not saying joust them in it. I'm just saying put it on their hands.
No.
Just like a cascading mist of hand sanitizer. Just run through.
Hand sanitizer on a pole match.
This is going to turn into a very different pay-per-view.
I'd have loved it.
Speaking of different on this whole pay-per-view,
Kevin Owens.
Or wrestling now in general, but this pay-per-view especially, let me tell you what is something you do not want to do, is to have this playing with no video.
I know what you're
no
getting
video
at.
source at all. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, unless you're playing the game wrestling or porn. But
Right.
It's not dirty.
Yeah. Because, I mean, from the other room, from an entirely different room, I've been called out on it quite a few times. What are you watching in there? Wrestling. Oh, it doesn't sound like wrestling.
No, it doesn't. There's a lot. I mean, the whole time, all you heard was, ugh.
I started making fun of that. Especially the women's matches. They turned into women's tennis.
Just stop.
Oh, it does. So
I'm never going to stop.
So, hustle.
Who was it that started breathing like that? It's like they were like,
They all did. It was like a Red River Jack family reunion.
But no, during this match, I tell you what, whenever Owens hit the big spot off the WrestleMania sign.
Oh, yeah.
On the Rollins, on the commentary table. The noises Rollins was making were ungodly. They were like, this man is just dead. These are death noises.
Like a wounded animal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Mm-hmm. They just both did.
Yeah.
Owens is still just
I thought the
fearless.
Whole so damn good. And the thing about it is when he in WWE, he was afraid of heights. Then he started climbing like halfway up the cage and doing little jumps off, and then he went to the top of the cage and did the jumps. And he's been working his way up and trying to get over his fear, and he's done it. And
immersion therapy.
Yeah, he's doing parkour off of the Titantrons now. He's doing like wall runs.
Yeah,
it's freaking incredible.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, oh god, that was so good.
Yeah, it's like Ninja Warrior.
This match was so fantastic, barring the huffs and puffs. I also gave it a 3.
They've done that with old Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage promos where someone took the time to edit out all the words and just kept in the deep breaths they took in the middle. I'm sure someone might do the same thing with some of this stuff.
Nice.
I feel like if they haven't already, we need to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
Speaking of huffs and puffs,
this one. Braun Strowman versus Oldberg.
Oh man!
Universal title on the line, guys. This is what we all came to see. This is the money match. Oh baby, Mike Payne. Were you on the edge of your seat for these entrances?
Yeah. Most of the time I've had.
Tell me about it.
No, I have hemorrhoids. That's why I'm on the edge of the seat, but not for this match. Dude, this is okay. This went the way that everybody thought it should. Short, sweet. Braun Strowman wins. I think you could have taken this opportunity. You have it. You could have produced this match to surprise everybody, to put it to length, to make both guys look fantastic. You could have produced it. You could have produced this whole match.
This would have been a very good opportunity for them to, okay, Goldberg, we're going to get him out of here, but before we do, let's make him look good.
Yeah.
We're gonna edit this thing. We're gonna try some. We're gonna do more than 4 moves. This match is gonna take more than 3.5 minutes. But no, alas,
No,
we
not even.
We spent all that on Taker and AJ.
Yeah.
I mean, they each did one move 4 times apiece.
You know, every match that we see Goldberg in, we see him screw something up. I don't think he took that power slam correctly once.
Well, I think every one he took,
That-
he took it on the side.
He did. It was really obvious that it was really obvious after one because he was hurting.
Yeah.
That last one where he got that just made my ribs hurt when I was watching him. Oh my God, that very last one, I cringed a little bit. I was like, God, just please go home. Don't do this anymore.
And it just seems like the only move he feels confident doing anymore is the spear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Flair,
Mike, what were you
Flair
gonna
was
say?
bad about that. Flair was bad about that, taking those side
He was.
bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that had
He,
to do with a lot of age, and of course, obviously with the car or the plane crash.
Yeah.
He stayed off that back as much as possible, and so he took a lot of those
Right.
bumps on the side
Yeah, yeah.
and absorbed them with his hips.
Yeah. And that
Which sounds like
actually, it was right after that plane crash. You rarely saw him take a back bump after that.
Yeah,
It sounds like it would solve some problems and create others down the line.
right.
I
Maybe.
gave this match half a Meltzer.
That
I
depends on what the
can't go-
Saudis
I'm
want.
happy that Braun is champion. Yeah, we'll see what he can do with it. I think it might be fun to see somewhere down the line Strowman versus The Fiend.
Maybe.
I think that's a possibility.
I'm
Yeah,
betting.
for sure.
But yeah, half a Meltzer for this. Well, let's get into our main event for night 1.
Oh my God! I
The
thought we were just about.
Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a boneyard match.
What does that mean?
Boneyard match, Mike Payne. Mike Payne, tell us what that means.
Am I for it or am I against it? I'm for it.
You're for it. Okay, well, tell me about it. What do you think?
This is what they should have been doing with the Undertaker for 4 to 5 years now.
Honestly, yeah.
Everything that he does now should be produced just like this. He looked incredible. He looked great.
He did.
And AJ looked great going against Taker in this. Yeah, there is no reason that from here on out that this shouldn't be the norm for The Undertaker. This kind of production
Okay.
in any kind of capacity. I don't care if you put it in a bar.
Barnes, what did you think?
Movie like Mike was saying, movie/TV magic at its finest. 100%. And I think I just now figured it out. I think the reason it's called a boneyard match is because it's a buried alive match in a graveyard. I think that's essentially it. That's all I can figure out anyway.
Yeah.
But like Mike was saying, I liked it. The only thing that I had a problem with is something they like to try and do from time to time, even with their live stuff in front of a crowd, and that's they like to try and make here's the thing: they stop filming it like it's a live event, and they start filming it like they're trying to make a TV show, and they start doing like cinematic cuts,
Right.
and that bothers me when I'm supposed to be watching something that's like a live thing. Like Mike was telling about like how good they made like the Stone Cold with his monster truck, or Stone Cold getting hit, and the NWO with the semi. Those things looked great, and it still looked great from a live perspective. They didn't try to do like a fancy cut or a fancy, or something that would just be like standard, because it started coming off like a TV show and not like
like
a
raw,
Yeah.
like a raw, like I would say like a raw footage, or just
yeah.
it's happening. This is
Like when
happening
they're
right now.
like when they're following along, like saying like the infamous Mankind Boiler Room match where they're all I thought it was cool what they did. It's just I just had that lingering problems. Like, don't get fancy. Pretend you're still producing a quote unquote live show, sports show. From that
Yes.
perspective, just if you stick with that, I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, this is one of two
Now-
contributions I can make to this actual episode, because this match drove me insane from a technical standpoint. And I had this argument since we
I
were
was about to say something to you, Hensley.
Yeah, since we were all watching this separately, we had a group thread going, and some of our friends were just talking about how incredible they thought it was and how much they enjoyed it. I could not. Obviously, we've talked a lot on this show about how I'm the producer of it. I don't know a whole lot about wrestling. What I know comes from what I've learned from you guys. But I wasn't able to watch and enjoy the wrestling in this match because the technical aspects of it drove me insane. And if I felt like if you're going to do this kind of match, you have to commit one way or the other. Either this is a live match, or at least you're giving the idea that it's live, where you can see the cameramen moving around like you normally would. You see the lights. All you're doing is cutting between cameras. Or you have to commit that this is you're watching a short film. The fact that like they didn't bother to sync the settings on any of their cameras, the fact that some of them were running 24 frames a second and some of them were 30, the fact that you could see the lights, that it just was not consistent across the board, and the inconsistency
You
of it all
mentioned the
killed
f-stops
me.
too.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. They didn't even bother to set their cameras to the same settings. They had two very similar angles where the lighting was so very different between the two of them that it was jarring to me. But that's
I
me
think
as a
overall-
filmmaker watching them attempt this. And I said
think-
afterwards, once you watch the actual main event of night 2, it became obvious where all the money they had for these vignettes went.
I think overall, like if they can shake off these kind of technical things and get it smoothed out, if they do more of these going forward, they're going to look great.
Yeah.
And I think I'll just have to live with the cuts they do, because I know they're not going to stop doing it.
My personal opinion on this, if I were watching a B-rated action movie, I would have loved this.
That's what it was.
Here's the thing. The sign on the marquee says wrestling, and I wanted to watch wrestling, and I didn't get that from this. Now, I say all that.
You didn't get wrestling from an Undertaker match?
And AJ.
Hang
Hang on. I'm going to bring it around. Hey, I'm going to bring it around. Now that was going to be my next question that I posed to myself. Could AJ Styles and The Undertaker have done any better in front of a live crowd in a buried alive match, which I think was what they were going to do originally?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
no.
I think this is the best that you could have got out of those guys.
That whole match would have been brawling anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, it would have. It would have. But I wouldn't have put it main event.
No.
But then again, I also wouldn't have made Braun Strowman and Goldberg main event either.
I think my expectations were tempered by once I saw what they were doing, since they were shooting on location. I kind of expected, okay, no wrestling. This is just going to be a big fight scene, and then The Undertaker AJ are going to act a little bit.
Right.
And then I did enjoy the Undertaker teleporting like Jason spot.
You gotta add that Taker magic in there. Gotta have.
Why did the Druids turn on Taker?
Well, it was clearly a plant by AJ to confuse and distract the Undertaker. I don't know.
AJ came out in a hearse in the coffin. Why not? Why not?
It's how you know
the Druids have always had Taker's back. Why would they turn?
It's how you know that the heel is going to lose hard, because CM Punk did that too. He replicated Taker's, I think, WrestleMania 20 entrance with Druids, and Paul Heyman dressed as Paul Bearer.
That was amazing. I still hold that.
Very true.
That was great.
One of the best segments.
Yeah.
Heyman imitating Bearer alone was just magic.
Wow. Yeah. And this was probably and that was just maybe a week or so out from Paul Bearer actually passing away.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, what they did with that was But my favorite part of this match was AJ begging Taker.
Oh, yeah.
Bury him alive. That to me, that was the best part, with them interacting between each other, and Taker kind of like, man.
No, yeah. AJ was doing the cowardly heel perfectly.
Yeah. Don't bury me. Don't bury me alive. It was so good. It was really good.
There was also a car off in the distance that kept driving around and parking very close to where they were having this match.
No, remember, that turned out to be the OC. That turned out to be them pulling up, remember?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Because we all noticed that cars like
the Druids, one or the other.
We all noticed it's like, there's just cars driving by.
Yeah.
Wait, where are they? and then it pulled up and the OC got out.
Yeah, everybody's at the Hardy compound.
Yeah. Right. So that was night one. And I didn't know what to possibly rate this match movie. Because I can't give it a Meltzer rating because it wasn't a match. So I gave it one thumb down.
Oh, it went up. You actually originally had it at 2 thumbs
I did
down.
have it. Well, I was very angry at the time. I did go back and watch it, and I did.
You gotta watch. It's like like you said, it's like a B movie. Some B movies you can go through the first time and be like, man, this is polished shit. You watch it a second, third, fourth time, and you're like, this is gold. So I recommend rewatching it.
That match might as well have been sponsored by Sons of Anarchy.
And, that's what I ended up doing. I had to go back and rewatch it because I was pretty pissed the first time I watched it. And I did, and I was like, well, all right. Could I get much better, from these guys that had an audience and it wasn't shot on a remote location? No. The answer was no. So I just like, well, okay. I was like, I'll give it one thumbs down as opposed to 2.
All right.
I like the idea of...
So we'll go from an F to a D minus.
I like the idea in terms of kayfabe, of the idea that AJ brought out the camera people and he helped set up the lights.
Oh, yeah. He brought Gallows and Anderson out there to give him a hand with it. All right, so that was night number 1. Let's go into night 2 with the pre-show. And starting things out, we have Liv Morgan versus Natalya Neidhart. What do you think, Mike?
Okay. It's a kickoff. It was your typical Raw match. Liv Morgan going over, fantastic. Natty's still out there. She'll be in the Hall of Fame probably next year, I would say. She's getting on up there. I'm tired of seeing her.
I am too. She's not looking good. She can't she can't get over. Man, we've tried.
Yeah.
We tried a million times, and we want her to get over, but good Lord, man, it's tough.
Nah, she needs a
Liv, on the other hand,
poor Liv.
yeah, I agree. Poor Liv, man. She's a sleeper, man. She can go. They ruined her with this Bobby Lashley gimmick that they pulled the plug on, and now she's just I don't know what her gimmick is now. She's just Liv Morgan.
There it is.
She's kind of in stasis until they figure out something else for it.
So I had to give this match 2 Meltzers. No meat on the bones. It wasn't a terrible match. I like Liv, but Natalia's just not bringing any thunder to it. Yeah, very, very unnecessary. And no push behind it, no angle, no nothing. Moving into the actual show, we have the one that seemed like everybody had been waiting for, me included. Charlotte Flair versus the NXT champion, Rhea Ripley, for the NXT Women's Championship. Barnes, what say you, sir?
It was a good match. I really enjoyed it, and honestly, because I don't get a chance to watch NXT. This was my first time really seeing Rhea Ripley in action, and she was fantastic, in my opinion. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was.
They had great chemistry in the ring, I thought.
Mike Payne, what do you?
Right on. I've been high on Ripley for quite a while now, and I thought this would be a good match. I'm not huge on Charlotte. I haven't been for a long, long time, and it's played out like I thought it would. Not that I hoped it would, but I don't know. I thought it was a good match. I would have liked to have seen Ripley held on to the title.
Yeah, me too, honestly. I think that would have been better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think we were all expecting that.
Yeah.
I think we were all expecting her to go over. I had a few issues. I agree with you, Mike. I like Charlotte, and I was really high on her for a number of years. Past couple, I have kind of fell off a little bit. She hasn't been doing a lot that's impressing me. This match went maybe, I think, about 5 minutes too long. I would have preferred that this match go about 15 minutes. I think it went a little over 20. I also don't know what Rhea was doing with the outfit. She is.
I think Robert, our friend, pointed out on Twitter. She her in-ring stuff was modeled on Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
It was his original outfit when he showed up the first time.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Well, I hated it.
Okay, that's fair. I thought it was pretty cool. Even before I knew the reference, I liked it. But she does look better in black, I think. Yeah, you're right.
The way I would like to have seen this match go down, I would love to have seen these two. That if they could have pushed it to a 1 hour time limit and go that whole time limit where Ripley retains because of the draw. 1 hour time limit draw. I think it would have been great. I think it would have been great on both. Maybe not a 1 hour, maybe a 30-minute, obviously, but I would have liked to have seen something like that happen.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that would have that they could? That this is obviously with a crowd, right?
Oh no! Any of this, yeah. They could have easily gone to 30-minute time limit without the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it still would have made both look great, and still keep them in good light.
Now I love the match. I didn't. There's a couple things that I didn't really dig. I would have liked to see Rhea keep the title. Myself, I was a little disappointed in that, but
I think it would be more interesting with Charlotte chasing her instead of the other way around.
unless they're going to switch around and have Rhea come up to the main show and Charlotte stay down, then I may be on board. But
God, I hope not.
Why is that?
No, God, no. I mean, it's been a curse for everybody to come up to the main. It's like putting that damn title on.
No. As far as that goes, I agree. I hope that I just want somebody. I think that the women's division needs a shot in the ass, and I thought Rhea Ripley might be that shot. And that's where I'm thinking with that. Now, in a perfect world, I also want Vince to keep his grubby little hands off the story, and I want Dana Warrior fired. And
Shayna Baszler was supposed to be a shot.
But there it is. Yeah. It's a shame. It's a damn shame.
Yeah.
So I gave this one 3 Meltzers. Let's move into Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Barnes, what are your thoughts?
You know what? It was a pretty fun match. I think Lashley and Black did a good job together.
I will say this is the best that I've seen Lashley look, and I think that's because they only went maybe, what was it? What was the time?
Like 7 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes, yeah. It played to the strengths of, they kept it short.
Yeah.
They probably had to keep it short for what's coming up.
Lashley's been really showing up for a lot of the stuff here lately in his matches, and I'm not sure how this match came together between the two, but I thought it was a great match. And Lashley wearing the long tights. That's definitely different.
I mentioned
they look good on him.
He looks good. Yeah. And I do agree with you because I believe I said this the last pay-per-view that Lashley showed up and it looked good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, Black changed his tights and they no longer look like he's messed himself. That symbol on the back of his regular trunks just does not look good.
The exploder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. This was there was no reason for this match. There was no angle to it at all. But not a bad match, and I gave it a 3. It's probably my highest Bobby Lashley rating ever. Yeah. And I'll give the devil his due. Bobby looked pretty good. Aleister Black goes over. And I believe they did an interview. I think it was after WrestleMania where he said there was a hey, you just lost, blah blah blah. What do you think? And he's like, well, I think I need a new manager.
Oh yeah,
or a new wife. And
because she told him to pick him up.
That's one of the better promos that I've heard Bobby Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was not bad at all. Now let's get into the one that this was my favorite match of WrestleMania.
Really?
Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Yes. This was my favorite one. There was a nice story behind this.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like true love? Barnes, what'd you think?
I loved it, and it's one of those matches where I did. Everyone involved was doing a great job. They were telling the story well, and at the end of it, you saw the ending kind of coming a mile away. But it's one of those endings that you love to see happen, and I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of that match.
Still, it's just too much junk shots, Well,
let's just talk about how Otis dresses in general.
I mean,
giant baby Huey looking guy.
I mean, not just his gyrating. I'm talking.
I know they make clothes that fit him.
I mean, I'm talking about the low blows at the very end of the match. They were just,
oh God, yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're everywhere, out of nowhere, everywhere, and here they are, and Yeah, a lot of junk shots.
There were, but you know what? I'll go with that. It's warranted because this is all over a girl. So you got to go with the junk shot. Yeah, when it's all about a girl, go for the junk. Somebody stitch that on a pillow.
Right.
Dave, write that down. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah, we'll add it to our upcoming T Public shop.
See, we've got some great T-shirt ideas, man. We're going to be better than AEW when it comes down to it.
This is a work was
I
sued out of
absolutely
production a
love this
week
match,
later.
Man, this was so much fun. No, this was a fun match.
It was.
We had the GTV guy that ended up showing up and showing, hey, Sonya Deville was the one that screwed up the phone calls and blah, 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 blah. And so now we've got Mandy Rose going face. Sonya's a heel with Ziggler. Not sure how that's going to work out, but whatever. I'm for it. And then we go home with Otis picking up Mandy Rose in his arms and carrying her off like the ending of Gone with the Wind.
And they kissed.
Does it get any more beautiful than that? Yes, they kissed!
And if you're talking about Gone with the Wind, if Red Butler was played by George the Animal Steel, then yeah, it's just like Gone with the Wind.
Yes, exactly like Gone with the Wind. This is my version, and this is the one that I want to see. Hey, pretty lady!
Ducky!
Ducky! I thought this was I had so much fun watching it. I gave it a 4. Highest one of the night.
Wow.
It had the story. It had everything that I wanted.
It was the wrestling version of a John Hughes movie,
including Mandy Rose.
This was your Hallmark moment.
Yeah. Instead of the Hallmark Channel, he's just going to put this on repeat.
Let this whole story unfold. Make it an entire movie.
Yeah.
Tale as old as time.
Oh my God. Okay, let's get into this one here. Yeah. So now we have Edge versus Randy Orton.
I looked it up on Wikipedia because I just could not figure out what year it was after the match ended. This went for 36 minutes.
Yeah.
I truly do not remember a time
36.
before that match.
I thought for sure it was going to be close to an hour.
Yeah, I've got 36 minutes.
It felt like it.
Yeah.
It felt like
I still don't think that's correct. I think somebody...
I'm still not sure it ended.
One of them or both of them went back and changed the Wikipedia page to say 36 minutes because that was at least an hour that I will never get back.
It was painful.
Hillbilly Jim gave an acceptance Hall of Fame speech that was shorter than this match. Oh my! And he's still talking somewhere. Oh my God! I feel bad for Edge and Randy. I don't think this was their intent. Last Man Standing they were doomed without a crowd.
Yeah.
This was never going to work.
I think you made the point, like, the crowd is always a good indicator of when these should go home, and they didn't have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So here's the very beginning of this match. You've got Randy hits 2 RKOs.
Oh, my God, yeah, they did a finisher.
And Edge is up, obviously, within the 10 count. Okay, not weeks before this, when Edge gets hit with an RKO for the first time by Randy. He's on the mat for 20 minutes until Randy can get 2 chairs for a concerto. How does any of this make sense?
Well, he's like the Borg. His body is adapted.
Wrestling.
Now it doesn't work as well. I had 2 main highlights in this match. One, it was multiple times seeing people working in the background and then suddenly being shooed out of the way when the camera shifted because they didn't realize they were going to be fighting in that area. One of them, I'm pretty sure, was Paul Heyman in that meeting room. I'm pretty sure. My second highlight was that was when they go into that meeting area, and he's got Randy, and Randy's he's got on the table. Edge climbs up to the onto the lighting for that very short ceilinged room and drops an elbow after holding on to it like a spider.
Yeah. It was. See, once again, they had an opportunity to make a decent because this was not live. They pre-taped this.
Yeah,
they could have edited this and
really
worked it down, especially since we had 2 cameramen fall down. That's your perfect editing.
I'm sorry,
moment.
that was highlight number 3. They lost at least 2 cameramen during this match.
This is why we had a second night.
Yeah.
This is absolutely why we had a second night.
And one of those cameramen...
You're absolutely right. I agree.
One of those camera guys came rushing up like a camera shot in The Evil Dead as it runs up to the action. Oh man, this match looked like if I was playing a Last Man Standing match in like WWE 2K, and I wanted to explore all the environments.
Yeah.
Like I've got it on easy, so I'm not in any danger. So I just want to send the guy into every area and see how far I can go into the back.
Yep.
And then we're going towards the go home before we got on top of the damn trailer. Where they were fighting around the truck, and if you look off to the side, you see some intern that's over there folding shirts.
Yep, that was one of the spots. And then the camera moves a little bit, and then you go back, and he's gone.
Yeah,
he's been vanished.
They moved that camera. They got right up in his face, and just get the hell out of here. And
which is not fair because he's just out here doing his job. He didn't know.
Right. He's working the weekend. They didn't have anything else for him, and this was it. So.
He's filling merch orders, goddammit.
And I think that's what this whole match is all about. This was nothing more than a flex on their performance center.
Yeah.
And to show off their facility.
Oh, God. All the time they took in that gym.
Yeah. It was just a flex.
I thought it was going to end in the gym. Agree. It was taking so long.
Well, people had this match actually has some controversy too because people did not like them fighting in the gym where Randy hung Edge because it was a liken back to Benoit. And which I thought it was. I think that's reaching, but people get mad about.
That's a huge fucking reach. Yeah. If anything, it would be more of a reference to Bossman getting hung by Taker.
Oh.
With an actual noose.
Ugh. That's tough too.
Yeah. But this match, man, I gave it a 1.5 Meltzer.
Yeah.
I couldn't do any better than that just because the damn thing went so long and it didn't go anywhere.
But Doggz, they were friends and they were fighting now.
Edge goes over. Yeah, but
I was waiting for that to hit you.
Yeah, it's me and Finger fight all the time, and
yeah, but did you
it doesn't go for 36 minutes?
But did it end up on the top of a tractor trailer?
Absolutely, I've seen it.
If we had a tractor trailer, it would. Now it's ended up on top of a van.
Just as good because they had some spots on a truck too.
Yeah.
Right.
Boy,
right.
I want to know what brand of bed cover that was, because it did not fall at all when they were.
You know, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
same bed cover
Yeah.
that saved me when I fell off the dock 2 weeks ago. But
Nice.
that's another story.
Yeah, that thing held
Yeah,
like
that-
500 something pounds up. That's good.
Yeah, it was. And it held up my fat ass too. So.
So okay, I had to go 1.5 on this one. But they shouldn't have done it.
If you had to do it, there was no way around it. You can edit the hell out of this thing.
Yes.
You had the technology, but you. Next, we have the Street Profits and versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory.
Hold on. You had something in between there. Mojo Rawley.
Oh, what I had in between?
So we've been ignoring the hosts all freaking the whole
yeah.
freaking show. We've been ignoring Gronk and Mojo.
Yeah. And what,
You're right. I have
to bring them out then over the 24/7 title.
That's okay. We've basically given note of the exact amount of impact they had on the show. So.
Right. Now we have we did enjoy Mojo and Gronk as the host. We started likening that to two 13-year-olds that are doing a sleepover at one of their parents' houses. And
they were having a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pillow fort was set up.
They're in the pillow fort was set up. They're in their leopard skin PJs. They're chasing each other around.
I'm sorry, they're leopard skin PJs.
Yes. It's a tiger.
I don't know what they're
game
wearing
party.
over there. It's a tiger game.
13-year-old?
It's popular now. It's chic.
Mom said they could order Papa John's. Yeah. It was a great night.
Yeah.
Are there leopard skin PJs also leopard print?
Surprisingly, no. They were.
They're flannel.
So wait, now if I remember correctly, Mojo is the 24/7 champion.
Well, no.
He got covered up by a bunch of jobbers.
Well, no. What happened first is Archer came up with them to hide. He came up there to hide with them, and then Gronk forearms him and then goes to cover him. Mojo tosses him off in a stunning betrayal and wins the title, and then people start chasing them around. And then at some point,
it
Gronk
makes sense because nobody invited R-Truth to that sleepover.
Yeah, and then at some point, Gronk does he do a leap onto the guys? Yeah, he does. He jumps on the guys that are fighting.
He does.
Wins the title and then runs out the building. The host vacates WrestleMania. He leaves the show. The host leaves the show.
You never pay anybody before the show is
Titus
over.
O'Neil.
That's right. Oh, but it's a perfect replacement for what's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So now we have the Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory because NXT.
Sure.
For the Raw Tag Team titles, didn't know that Garza and Theory were even contenders for this, but okay, wrestling. And so, Mike, what do you think?
They came out with Zelina, too, who had the gold skulls on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she did. She looked hot.
Yeah. Wow, this was very strange. I'm not big on the Profits. Honestly, I
really?
Think, yes, I'm not. And I'll tell you why. I think, honestly, I think the Street Profits are their replacement for Enzo and Cass.
I can sort of see it, yeah.
You look at it.
That's fair. Okay.
Look at it and look at
the
similarities. I loved them. I loved Enzo and Cass when they were a team I thought they were super over, and they were great, and everybody else loved them. Of course, Enzo had his issues and problems, but who hasn't?
Right.
But I think these cats are definitely that Enzo and Cass that they'd wanted.
No, that's solid.
But their work in the ring is far
never
better.
made that comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got far better work.
Montez Ford is amazing to watch.
Yes.
He really, the height that this man has is just something to behold. It's incredible. But really, no point to this match either. This is Angel Garza and Austin Theory. That's why. It's there was no reason for it. It was a quick match, which made it fun to watch. There's a lot of fun stuff that happened. Some good high spots. I gave it 3.5 Meltzers. It was a great match. It was a lot of fun to watch, but there was no meat on the bone for it. There was no
Not really.
story,
No.
nothing.
It was kind of short and sweet, and then they had a fun little fight after the match that also involved Bianca Belair coming out and making a save.
Yeah. I forgot about Bianca Belair. That did happen. Yeah.
No, the whole thing was fun. Let's move into our next match with the 5-way elimination SmackDown Women's Championship.
I need to stop you right there. I just have one quick problem with the title of this match. Because I know they change their minds constantly, but they usually hold true to the fact that if you say fatal 5-way or fatal anything, first pinfall wins.
Right.
And that bugged me because then it was like, then it turns out it's going to be an elimination match, which is fine, but that just bugged me.
Yeah.
I don't know. This match was fun. It's a little high on the card for my liking, but it was a good match. Mike, what'd you think?
This could have done definitely a lot of favors to be early in this night, just to get that tempo going.
Mm-hmm.
For the show, because it felt like, okay, well, the first matches you had was Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Charlotte and Ripley, which is, obviously you've got Liv Morgan and Natalya wrestling, but you definitely got Ripley and Charlotte. It's more of a feel out. It's more deliberate. To where this one's sets a good pace, and it should have really been up towards the beginning of the show, whereas I thought Charlotte and Ripley should have been in this spot.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
That would have been a much better suited
For Charlotte and Rhea. No, I agree. This would have been a perfect
placement to open night 1 or night 2 rather.
Yeah.
I think that would have been great. Set a nice pace, but I don't want to take anything away from the match because I thought the match was a lot of fun.
It was, yeah.
We started. It starts out everybody. It's the first time we've seen Tamina in a while.
Yeah.
So she comes back, so everybody piles on her and gets her out quick because, the good strategy there.
It's the Big Show spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, right, exactly. Barnes, what'd you think?
I agree. I think it was a pretty fun match. It was kind of, it's kind of an odd dynamic because they normally don't do an odd number kind of like over a 3 in terms of these kind of matches. So 5 people going at it was pretty interesting. They haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
And I thought it was. I thought the ending was really interesting because they did something story-wise that I thought was neat. Well, first of all, because it was they teased Sasha and Bailey before the match and kind of during that Sasha was going to try and take the win and take the title for herself, and then just as I forget who was going after him, just as someone was about to take down Sasha, Bayley shoves her out of the way and takes the hit.
Yeah.
And then Sasha then gets hit by something else and she sells on the floor, and you can kind of see her in the corner selling for a good few minutes until the end. And then at the end she comes back in, and they end up teaming back up and helping Bayley retain. And Sasha gets and Bayley retains. And I think that was really good. It's interesting like that they showed Bayley and Sasha still valuing their friendship. Something you don't really see a lot of heels.
But you also see the cracks in the.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing if that's what they're heading towards, they're doing a good slow build of it.
Yeah, which is rare for WWE writers to do.
Yeah.
Usually they do it boom now and ruin it. But
this is a slow burn, and I like it. I gave this match a 4. This was solid.
It was.
I had a lot of fun
watching it.
Yeah.
I think Mike had a good point. It maybe should have been not this quite high on the card, but yeah,
totally agree with that. I would have loved to have seen this in the preliminary or in the first match starting off the show.
Definitely a hot opener.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about it, guys. The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus John Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match. Okay, Mike, what do you got, brother?
Ruthless aggression. Ruthless aggression. Ruthless aggression. Ruthless aggression. That's all I got. No, this is great. I loved it, and this is another one of those things. So this is what Bray Wyatt should be doing. This is what the Fiend should be doing. Not the red light Virtual Boy, Nintendo Virtual Boy matches. It should be these types of produced these. Gosh, what do you even call them? Do you call them almost like phantasm-like nightmares?
Mm-hmm. He Freddy Kruegered him.
Yeah,
he did. Well, Barnes, what do you think?
I really have nothing but high praise for this, because this is, I don't know what their plan would have been if they had been able to perform in front of a crowd, because they took full advantage of not being able to, and they went full weird ass movie, and it's great. They took advantage of it in better than they did with the Boneyard match, I thought. And because the progression of this of Cena reliving his early start in WWE through to all these different pivotal moments. The edits were fantastic. They do a weird 80s throwback with him and Bray.
So good.
The likening, the reenactment of Bray being Bischoff and Cena being Hogan in the NWO scenario, every bit of this carefully crafted to just prey on Cena's past and his insecurities.
Yep.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
No, let me get David Hensley in on this one. Hensley, being a director and the videographer that you are, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it was obvious where the budget, like I said earlier, for the Taker and Styles match went. I think they dedicated so much of the budget to this particular match that the poor sons of bitches who were in charge of the other one were like, all right, well, I guess we're working with what we got. You get that camera, you get that camera, you get this old one from the 90s, and let's go out and shoot this stupid thing. I enjoyed it. I loved the production value of it. The storytelling angle of it. Loved the puppets. we finished this thing, and I was like, okay, well, that was definitely a higher budget vignette. Not sure how I feel about it, but the more I've thought about it, and especially in comparison to some of the other things that we saw, especially in comparison to that Edge and Orton match, this was the highlight of both nights of WrestleMania to me.
I tend to agree with all of you.
There you go. I mean,
go ahead, Mike.
A big match Cena, without having a match at all, has a big match.
Yeah.
The son of a gun is just...
Yeah.
What can you say?
I think to quote Mr. McBoss, man, this is such good shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And this was a lot of fun. I'm not even, I guess technically Bray Wyatt won this match.
That's what Wikipedia says.
I
think you would call that a win. I think you would call that a win for the Fiend because Cena's teleported away to somewhere else at the end of it.
Right.
Parts unknown.
Well done. But again, I can't call this a wrestling match.
No.
So
it's
I don't know what to rate it. I gave it 1 thumbs up. That's
fair because it really kind of isn't, and it's the kind of thing where the dynamics of the Fiend make it perfect to not be a wrestling match in a traditional sense.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun watching the whole thing. It was very nostalgic.
I feel like this set an unfair precedent for the Fiend because now anything less than this is just not going to work as well for that character.
Yeah.
Hard agree.
Well,
now I have been led to believe, and I don't know how true this is, but I'm told that they let Bray Wyatt set this whole thing up like this is all his baby. He was the one that designed this in his head, and which he did. This is nothing short of genius.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
From what I understand, and from what I heard, that this is a lot of Bray's input, the biggest part of it, and Bruce Pritchard's, kind of his baby.
Really?
With some input from Cena himself.
I was about to say Cena.
Stuff.
Cena had to be into this too for him to be as enthusiastic in this as he was.
And I'm sure
Right.
Cena probably suggested the Bella jab.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, I think
If
you would
you
have
remember
to,
that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, without question. Yeah. This was a great way to do stuff, especially without an audience. This was well done. Great stuff. Which brings us to our main event of the evening. Drew McIntyre versus the Beast,
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Let's start with Mike. Mike, what do you got?
Well, it's not much different from Strowman and Goldberg, to me.
Not at all.
A lot of finishers, and many of them to finish the match.
Yeah.
What else can you do? I mean,
Yeah.
you've already taken Drew this far, take him all the way.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
the end was right.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing I'm really going to say about this match. The ending was done proper. And we now have a new WWE champion in Drew McIntyre. God, I hope they do him right. Is he going to be the one? Like your Hogan, your Cena, your Austin, your Rock? I don't know.
It's going to be tough right now. It's going to be tough for anybody to be the one right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got huge shoes to fill. I don't know if it's true or not. I want it to be. I'm pulling for him. But I also gave this one half a Meltzer. I can't, I can't give it anything more than that. Even though I was very happy with the ending.
It wasn't a riveting match, It's like
Now, let's talk about something else that I was not aware of.
You mean the secret boss fight that we didn't know happened?
Match. Were you guys aware of this?
I found out way after the fact.
What was
right.
The secret boss fight, yeah.
Me too.
You
didn't know anything about this, Mike?
No, I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, so after this match,
Lawrence,
Drew is immediately. I have not watched the match, but I just know that afterwards, Drew was apparently challenged, despite the fact they made it seem like the show was over, and we all basically gave up. We were done for the night. The Big Show showed up. By the way, watch the Big Show on Netflix.
I'm good. A friend of mine on Facebook posted that he was watching the Big Show, and that if you enjoy wrestling and comedy, this was neither.
It's basically, if you've seen any Disney Channel sitcoms at all, any Disney Channel sitcoms, it's about that shallow. It's like if they took some criticism and fixed it, maybe a season 2 would be better, but this was not great. But anyway, he came out and wrestled.
Let's just lay this. Oh, go ahead.
He came out and wrestled Drew McIntyre. That's all I was going to say.
Wow.
Yeah, and Drew went over, obviously.
After a 15-minute match.
Yeah, so we had a dark match for WrestleMania that did not have a crowd. Yeah.
Would that be considered? Would it be considered then the darkest match?
Yeah. They did that for Michael Cole and Byron Saxton just because they wanted to see it so bad, and that is our WrestleMania.
Who won the match?
I mean, why
not?
Drew won.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre won via pinfall.
That would be the weirdest fucking thing. It's like you just have a sudden
6-7 minutes.
No, it's 15 apparently.
Yeah.
It went 3 times the length of him and Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
It went 3 times the length of him and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Well, man, that's I mean, what'd you think about this 2 nights of WrestleMania? Too big for one night, Mike. What'd you think about it in total?
No, sir, don't like it.
Yeah,
It could have been one
care
night.
for it.
It could have been one night.
Yeah.
It absolutely could have been one night.
I'm good with a day. I treat WrestleMania like a holiday anymore anyway.
Absolutely.
So I will go from that 12 noon to whatever stretch, hey, it's a holiday, taking off, we're going to watch this. I don't have to watch the entire thing all at one sitting. I can go walk and do stuff, come back to it. Oh, okay, there's something. I don't like this. I'm going to go do something else and come back. It doesn't need to be till midnight.
Yeah.
It could be, that regular, 10, 11?
You had 2 nights and you still managed to run long. It's like, how?
Mm-hmm.
You had time to edit this.
Edge and Orton, that's how.
There you go.
They had editors at their disposal.
Yeah.
They were all busy working on the Fiend and Cena match.
Okay, fair.
Well,
I'm going to give this whole pay-per-view in its entirety, both nights. I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay.
And the reason I'm giving it a 2 is because of the wrestlers, not because of anything else. Just because the wrestlers did what they earned their paycheck, and And that's about all I can say about it.
Yeah.
God bless you guys for putting up with this insanity. I mean,
Yeah.
It's been a weird
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
yeah. In fact, this one was so weird. I will go ahead and ask you, Fashion Plate, what do you got here? Best dressed?
Oh, Rhea Ripley.
You son of a bitch.
I mean it. I mean it.
Okay,
it looked good.
fine.
I liked it. I liked it.
Mike Payne, what about you? Best dressed for the two nights?
Ooh, okay. I think I'm gonna have to go with Seth Rollins. Although I was kind of disappointed and would have liked to have seen what was originally done. But yeah, Seth never disappoints. He's a fashionista.
Solid choice. I had Zelina Vega.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
She was a good runner-up.
Yeah, I had Zelina Vega for this one.
She loves dressing up for these
Let's
things.
go
too.
to David Hensley. David Hensley, what do you got? Best performance.
Best performance. This is gonna sound like a cop out, but considering the circumstances, I would say everybody except the two that I'm giving worst performance. And I am for sure going to get heat for this. But for worst performances of the entirety of the 2-night event of WrestleMania, I'm going with AJ and Taker.
I can see it. I can see it.
Really?
Yeah, I can see the way that Mike is looking at me, but
I can see it.
yeah.
Mike Payne, what do you think about what David Hensley just said?
No, I'd have to strongly disagree. Like I said, I love the end spot with AJ and Taker. That was to me that was the one that kind of pulled me into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, you're not alone in this, Hensley, because I agree with you. The AJ Styles Taker match was actually the one that pulled me out of it.
Remember the scene in No Holds Barred when Rip has the driver of the limo, and he goes, "What's that smell?" It kind of felt like that a little bit. I'm not saying it was as bad as that, but it kind of had that vibe to it.
It's a classic scene from a classic movie.
I'm just gonna leave that statement alone.
Well, if that's not a way to end this WrestleMania, I don't know what is. So, Mike, when are we going to see the Pudcast back on the air?
I have no idea. We're bad. We've been state ordered. State ordered, but this was way before any of the COVID stuff. But we were state ordered not to do anything anymore.
They were too hot. They were too hot.
To keep our distance from each other.
Right on. Well, we'll keep our ears to the ground, patiently waiting for the Pudcast to return.
We're gonna go,
Chris.
We're gonna actually probably go underground.
Really? Well,
Yeah, Jason's got a basement, so we'll be
totally much more underground than a cave.
He's got a basement. Yeah, kind of.
There you go. Fantastic. Chris, you got anything?
No. There is nothing going on thanks to the current thing. I have just been doing nothing with nobody.
Hey, listen, I think something we haven't discussed here yet is actually Two Dogs. Your birthday was yesterday.
It was.
That's right.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
How dare you?
Sure was.
How
dare I what?
Have a happy birthday?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how I dare. I mean, it's at least I'm not as old as Jason Finger. That's,
there you go.
Heyo.
Because that's it's my understanding that Jason Finger is 49 years old. coming up in like an hour.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what hour, just an hour from when you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, Hensley, what do you got, boss?
All right. Well, if you want to keep up to date with what I've been doing during quarantine, which is mostly very nerdy shit like assembling and painting lightsabers, and you can see pictures of my pets and whatever alcohol I'm currently drinking. You can see all that by following me on Instagram at DBHensley. You can keep up with more of our podcasts, Long Walk Talks, This Is a Work, and This Is a Takeover by liking our fan page on Facebook. It's the Long Walk Talks, & This Is a Work. You can subscribe to us through iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, any streaming podcast platform you should be able to find us there on. And if you do, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review. You can also find a backlog of our older episodes by looking at our YouTube channels in the show notes.
Right on. All right, Mike, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast with us today. And
No, this is a blast.
Yes, you.
Guys, thanks a lot. Yeah, I appreciate it. This is a lot of fun. Thank y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had a great time. Yeah.
Absolutely. You're welcome anytime, and maybe once all this shit is over, man, we can get you down here in Rock Hill, and we can go live with it.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah. Right on. Well, guys, usually about this time, I have a little sign-off that I do. I thought that I might change it up with the events that are happening around the world. So, guys, listen, if you're able to get out of bed today and you're afraid of what's going on, don't worry about it. It's okay, because from fear breeds courage, and that's something we need right now. And if you can get out of bed today and you have no fear, good, because I think we need some of that too. Especially if you have somebody around you that cares about you. Guys, the match is over, and you just won via pinfall. So you guys take it easy out there. Be safe. Take care of each other. And thank you for listening to This Is a Work.